Hello fellow egoists! Today we'll be analyzing chapter 224 of Blue Lock. There's a lot to unpack, so let's just get into the overview of the chapter. It first starts with a throw-in from Ubers made by Drago, as we see Isagi and Raichi arguing. We then get back to the throw-in with Niko doing a pass back to Drago, and Drago doing a pass to Lorenzo, with Snuffy being surprised by something. But what is it exactly? Raichi the Dual King coming in for his big moment, with the question "Are you willing to die?" in his mind. We finally get the context behind this sentence. Isagi asking for Raichi to man-mark Snuffy, the #1 player in the world. But Raichi knows that this is easier said than done, and so Isagi gives an easier job to Raichi, a protector man-marking. The idea is that Raichi will put himself in a semicircle area with a radius of 2 meters in front of Snuffy. The goal isn't to take the ball from Snuffy, as this could lead to openings that Snuffy could use to burst through. Rather, the patience part of this piece is highlighted. By using Raichi's incredible stamina and ability to win 1v1s, not only is Raichi making Snuffy lose time from his star change system, but is also limiting Snuffy's options to play. Here we get a youth player able to go toe-to-toe with the player considered to be the best in the world. It would be like seeing a teenager handle punches from Mike Tyson and still being able to stand. Thanks to Isagi's plan and Raichi's power, Ubers is forced to go with a plan that doesn't make use of Snuffy. And thanks to that, Isagi can find the anchor of their next plan, that being Lorenzo. Though as he's about to get the ball, we get the 30-year-old lookalike Aiku coming in to stop him, and all of this according to Snuffy's plan. With one of the most insane passes we've seen so far in the nail, Aiku gets the ball past 3 defenders and right into Barou's left leg. Isagi is seething and in despair at the fact that his football IQ seems to not hold a candle to Snuffy's tactics, but Gagamaru says that it actually is. We see Gagamaru with the flow eye design as his instincts tell him one thing: he can stop Barou. Now to get into the in-depth analysis, let's go back to the first and second page. You might wonder what I want to talk about, and it's this creatura who has been useless this entire match, Ness the Kaiser boy toy. Here we see him blocking the route to the left corner of the field, and it's what he should do. The problem is that he's putting absolutely no pressure at all. Instead of pressing Drago the moment the ball comes into play, he's instead standing there and doing absolutely nothing that adds value to his current positioning. After that, the next time we see him is when we get a look at Snuffy's POV, and what does he see? Ness man-marking absolutely no one. And this can't even be countered by the fact that he's having this positioning to react to the future of the plays by Snuffy, as he doesn't even have metavision to be able to do that, nor the stamina to be able to do it. From what it seems, the only thing he could do was spread his legs open for Aiku to do a pass. Anyway, enough ranting about him, but I really needed to get this out of the way. Ness is officially getting the fraud treatment from now on. As for Aiku, who was far from the fraud this time, I want to use him to talk about Uber's jobs philosophy. Here we get a mix of Aiku's skill and Snuffy's jobs philosophy. Basically, when Snuffy gets man-marked, it's up to Aiku to drop deep into the midfield to give Ubers a number advantage, by doing so not killing Uber's tempo. Though this doesn't mean that Aiku specifically knew that Isagi would come to steal the ball close to Lorenzo. This was him using metavision subconsciously, and this explains his comment about him being in the zone. So here we see that Snuffy's jobs make use of a person's capabilities not necessarily fully, but puts them in situations where most of the hard job has been done thanks to the positioning asked by Snuffy. And so the rest of the job is pretty easy, as all Aiku needed to do was wait for his opportunity to strike. As for Uber's game plan in general, it's something I already talked about in last chapter analysis, but for newcomers, I'll explain it quickly. Uber's game plan is all about baiting the defenders into positions where they create space outside of their current position. A good example of that is Yuki, a character who's supposed to be one of the right side of the field, but thanks to the defenders baiting him, he instead finds himself on the left field. So while this isn't necessarily the best example, it shows that if you're doing your defending job correctly, then Snuffy's tactics will beat you no matter what. And this is why only metavision users can realistically stop Snuffy's attacks, as there's the only one who can see the spots that Snuffy creates, as they don't just tunnel vision on defending against their current duo. And also, one thing I rarely see people talk about is that with this we get the confirmation that Noah does indeed have metavision. There's still a bit more to analyze, but it would fall into a general overview of Ubers as a whole and the match itself, so in that sense I touched on it in another video where we'll analyze the match as a whole. Also, if you want a great analysis, wait for my friend Bad Guy from There's video, and you can already check the last chapter analysis that he did, which was simply incredible. So go check him out. Now to get into the juicy part of the chapter, that is Gagamaru's flow, which will help us transition into the predictions part of the video. There have been a lot of theories, and one going as far as having Gagamaru get a new type of vision, but I just don't see that happening. To understand the idea I have in mind, we'll use the same approach that I used when predicting Kaiser's goal in chapter 219, by comparing it to a certain scene from the U20 match. Here we get Reo being Isagi, trying to stop but failing and feeling like he's not doing enough, though as Gagamaru says in both situations, nice job. And he's ready to stop the ball, though Shido faked the trajectory by shooting a ball that goes down, then rises to the top. So for Barou, what would be the faking element? His chop dribbling. We could see Barou doing a chop dribble and Gagamaru falling for it, then doing an acrobatic with a 2-panel page spread where he stops the ball. And how does the scene go afterwards? We get Reo trapping the ball, then passing to Nagi, his duo. But which duo is there in Bastard Munchin? Kaiser and Ness. So I could see Ness trapping the ball and going for a raid battle on a counter-attack, especially with the fact that current Ubers are the ones who are on a raid battle. So them being the ones doing once again a raid battle wouldn't make that much sense. The other option would be for Yuki to get it and go on a one-man raid page and the other players waiting for him to lose the ball. Either way, we will surely get a counter-attack from Bastard and I could see Isagi trying to get a goal, but as he does, Ness comes to fuck him up from behind. Either way, the next chapter will probably be the last of Snuffy's showcase through the star change system and I'm all here for it. Though what will happen when Snuffy goes out of the field? Stay tuned for my next Fury video where we'll look at the potential messiah of Ubers, that being Niko. If you want to see a small sneak peek of this Fury, you can join my Discord server where I put some details on the videos I'm currently working on. But you can also just come in and ask me some questions if you want. And with all this, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great one, fellow egoists.